Guys, this case that we're going to be reviewing today is so crazy that I don't even think I have the bandwidth to review it right now. But we're going to do it. We have a Section 8 tenant who faces the possibility of getting evicted allegedly, not because of what we usually run across, which is failure to pay, but this may be the first time where we're reviewing a Section 8 where someone could lose their Section 8 voucher because of disciplinary type reasons, just not being a good fit. And I'm going to be honest too, y'all. I took a look in the comments, and apparently she doesn't have her 7 kids either. So that kind of gives you some insight into what we're going to be dealing with today. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it.
And her repeated escalating and dangerous conduct.
I'm trying to figure out, what does the pregnancy have to do with the dog being loose?
But then I guess it was kind of clear. She said it was a spiritual pregnancy.
I'm not pregnant.
And
look, all I really wanted from this man is I don't want to lose my voucher. And I'm trying to get mad, but you're not.
All right, I'm gonna call Cloud Haven Apartments Ltd versus Valerie Goodsey. Let's get this taken care of.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's see, Miss Goodsey, you're present.
Yes. And it's Godsey, actually.
All right, I'll hear from the plaintiff. Just sketch out for me what the issues are.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Again, Scott Fournier with the sworn law firm on behalf of plaintiff. This case is about defendant Valerie Godsey and her repeated escalating and dangerous conduct that has made this apartment community unsafe for families who live there. The evidence will show that defendant has violated her lease, violated the animal addendum, endangered multiple residents, and ignored every warning and notice that we've issued to her. The evidence will show surveillance images from October 2nd, 2025, showing the defendant's pit bull breed dog off the leash, chasing another resident. You'll see a lease violation notice issued as a result of that. The court will hear about an incident that occurred on October 18th where the defendant again failed to control her dog, which ultimately led to her dog being temporarily impounded by San Antonio Animal Care Services, and that defendant physically interfered with the officer's investigation, which required SAPD to be summoned to the property to back up Animal Care Services. The court will hear also about an incident that occurred on October 19th where the defendant opened her door and ordered her dog to get another resident. As a result of that incident and the ensuing investigation, SAPD actually arrested Ms. Godsey on that date on October.
This woman opened her door and told her dog to sick him.
19th, 2025. Most importantly, the conduct has continued, Your Honor. We have additional photographs of the dog off the leash at large in the community. We have a surveillance footage from January 18th, 2026, showing the defendant again failing to control her dog. In that video, a family, a father, his wife, and their young children is shown retreating in fear down the hallway, the common area hallway, while the defendant follows after them with her dog, not going in the direction of her unit. This continuing and escalating pattern has terrified residents and made the common areas unsafe. You'll hear evidence that supports that. There's a lease contract and animal addendum that has certain provisions in that, including that the dog be leashed and under effective control, not disturb, threaten, or endanger other residents, and refrain from criminal conduct. I believe the evidence will show that a proper 30-day notice to vacate was issued on November 5th, 2025. And I think that there's going to be plenty sufficient evidence for the court to award plaintiff a judgment for possession, as well as reasonable attorney's fees and court costs through the time of trial today. Again, thank you very much for your time, Your Honor.
All right, I'll hear from you, Ms. Goodsey, briefly.
Hi, my name is Valerie Godsey.
Y'all, if you could like the video real quick, I just want to ask on the front end. It only takes a second, and it helps me out tremendously. So I know it's easy to forget, but just wanted to ask here on the front end if you could like the video right now. I would greatly appreciate it. Real quick too. So I'm thinking she's in a house or something, and she's like in a subdivision. So she's got her pit bull going crazy in an apartment complex. Not to mention, y'all, so again, she's not getting evicted from Section 8 because of failure to pay. But funny enough, they want their court fees back. Do you know how much court fees are? Over $9 grand, close to $10K. So she's still about to owe some money too, as if she got evicted for financial reasons as well. That's insane.
And this is simple because I don't know why we're still in court. This is a spiritual thing, not a mental thing, but it does somewhat relate to mental, and I don't know how to tell 911 that I needed help. The reason the cops were coming out here is because, for one, I had them bring me home, and that was in October. I had them bring me home because I was out having this baby in the middle of the street. I have 5 singles and a set of twins. I know what it is to have a baby. I saw that baby ascend only when it was further away in the distance. That's when I saw it. Now, this is why I only say this because, for one, it's important, the message, not the messenger, but because I did call 911. I was the one that was calling 911. I was, and then I had reports logs saying that I was the psych caller and this and that. Well, no, it's not psych, it's spiritual. But it does turn mental when you do not know how to ask for help. If you look at Revelation 12, that is everything I went through. And I was calling the cops since before my apartments. Again, I had them bring me home.
I'm not laughing at, her clear mental issues. I'm laughing at this black lady's face when she's watching her. Look at her face. She's so distraught by what this woman's saying. That's hilarious.
Home. My feet were cut up. I was having a baby. I was crying out to having a baby. Again, I know what it is to have a baby.
Hold on. Okay, so let me ask you, when were you having the baby?
This was in October, and there's no chance of being pregnant, sir, Your Honor. So this is spiritual, not mental. And it is not physical either because it's spiritual.
What do you mean by spiritual? I'm trying to figure that out.
Because I've had a baby. I know what it is to have a baby, and that's why I told the cops it was spiritual. If you look at Revelation 12, now I understand now what I was going through. That explains exactly what I was going through. Now,
how is it spiritual if you've got the dog loose and you've got a contract?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about on my own. I'm telling you about why.
Slow down.
I know. I don't mean to get loud, but how is it spiritual? Because that's what I told the cops to begin with. And the reason I'm saying that is because the cops were here because I brought them here. I brought them to the apartment because I asked them to bring me home. And I was calling them several times, not just from here in my apartment. But yeah, I didn't know how to ask for help because I did just have a baby. There's no baby. I did just have a baby. And there is no baby that I could physically give you or ask for help with. But that didn't, I don't know if it's a rupture, but something was rupturing. I've had that baby. And that's why I was asking for help. And I didn't know how. Now that I'm not ready.
All right, let me ask you this. So how many children do you have?
I have 7. 5 single births and then a set of twins. I do not have them with me. Okay, so my thing is
what did you say? I didn't hear that. You have them with you?
I have seven, including a set of twins. So 5 naturals and a set of twins. I know what it is to have a baby. Like that didn't stop the baby from not coming, even though I was a possibility of having a pregnancy. So yeah, my feet were all cut up. When the cops brought me home, my feet were all torn up just from walking in those streets. I walked for miles. I made it all the way to Broadway.
Ma'am, let me just ask you this question. What does that have to do with whatever issues you had?
The cops were here because
hold on. Let me finish. I'm trying to figure out what does the pregnancy have to do with the dog being loose and you have a.
There was no pregnancy.
Let me finish. What does it have to do? I'm trying to figure out what does your pregnancy and it may have been traumatic or whatever, but have to do with the loose dog and an agreement and a contract that you had with the apartment complex with respect to the animals.
My feet were torn up. I was walking for miles. I lost toenails. I have pictures of this.
What was torn up? Your feet?
My toenails. I lost toenails. That's why she was off her thing because she got loose. And it's not a everyday thing. It's not a everything. This was only when I was injured from walking. My feet were all blistered. I have pictures of it. I went to go show my neighbor.
Yeah, ma'am. What does that have to do with the dog being
my feet? That's what I have to do with my feet. But look, all I really wanted from this man is I don't want to lose my voucher. And I'm sorry to get mad, but you're not understanding. So let me just tell you. So all this really simply has to do with I wanted time. I asked that man by email because he's a liar. I asked him by email, hey, if I get rid of my dog, can I stay? I just don't want to lose my voucher. And I asked him to sign the paper over and over so I could move and he won't sign it. I just need time to move.
All right. What I'm going to do is, let me see where is.
That's when you know somebody's crazy. When you have to say ma'am a minimum of 3 times in a row just to like get them to recalibrate. Ma'am. That's when you know somebody's off their rocker. And you notice one thing I picked up on was she said he misheard her about having her kids with her. And he had to make sure, he said, ma'am, you have your kids where? They're with you? Because this judge would have been obligated based off of everything that she's showing and the behavior and traits that she's giving off, he would have had to send somebody expeditiously to go and save those kids if they were with her, because she's clearly showing visible signs of something's off. And they might need to go get that dog too.
Mr. Brian?
I'm Scott
swearing?
Fournier. I'm the attorney handling the case.
Scott?
I'm with the sworn law firm.
All right, Scott, will you call your first witness and briefly go over the sections of the
I
contract?
just wanted to move. And this man won't sign
Violation.
papers so that I can't move. I still have paper. He refuses to sign it because he's going to wait for court, because we're going to court. And that's all I need. That's slowing me down. I'm looking for a voucher to move. If it's really a headache, help me get rid of me. Help me move. Save for my safety. Because if they were shot at me, should have shot at my dog. I have a video where it slides up with my head, not the dog.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to have to mute you. I'm going to take on proof from the plaintiff's attorney, a witness. Which is your witness, Scott?
Your Honor, at this time, I'll call Dylan Osorio, the community manager.
All right, if you raise your right hand, Ms. Osorio, you swear or affirm truly that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you may proceed.
Mr. Osorio, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Osorio, you're the community manager for the plaintiff's apartment community in this matter, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to show you a document that's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 1 and previously filed with the court. Is this a true and correct copy of the lease contract?
It is.
Okay, and you, in Your Honor, plaintiff offers exhibit 1 into evidence.
Any objections, Ms. Gotzi?
What?
Any objections to the introduction of the lease into evidence?
I don't know what y'all are talking about. That isn't issue. I'm looking for a neighbor.
They're offering into evidence the lease agreement between you and the apartment complex.
Instead of signing the paper,
don't talk over me. Do not talk over me.
You asked me a question.
Do you have a legal objection to the introduction of this document?
I don't know what document you're talking about, so I guess not.
It's the apartment complex. It's your lease agreement. All right. It's plaintiff's exhibit number 1 is admitted into evidence. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And all these exhibits were filed with the petition and were served on the defendant. So just to be clear about that. Mr. Osorio, the lease contract does it allow any occupants to reside in the lease premises?
No, she is the only occupant.
Okay. And so in the defendant's opening, she said something about being pregnant, but then I guess it was kind of clear she said it was a spiritual pregnancy.
I'm not pregnant.
And
I'm not pregnant.
to your knowledge, was Miss Gotzi ever pregnant during any or gave birth to a child at any relevant time?
Not that I witnessed.
Okay. All right. So
I was not pregnant, is what I was saying. Now y'all are making it mental.
Moving.
Okay, ma'am. The
attorney. You're these fucking liars. Fucking ignorant. They don't understand English. I'm not taking no chance. I'm pregnant. Spiritual. Not physical, not mental. It's spiritual.
Ma'am.
Now they're making this all right, baby.
Ma'am, the attorney has the floor.
Instead of signing a paper, I just move, right?
Ma'am, you'll be allowed an opportunity to cross-examine.
I want to hang up.
Testify.
Yes, I know.
You may proceed, Mr. Scott.
All right, Mr. Osorio, you heard my opening remarks concerning.
You know what's crazy? Sidebar. There's going to be people like this that mess it up for everybody else, right? Think about how wonderful it is that, like, when you have a court case, like, you can just do it from the comfort of your home on Zoom because, things have stayed the same since COVID. And it's going to be crazy people like this who can't get their act together, who are going to mess it up for all the rest of us, and they're going to make it to where we all got to come to court again for things like this. That's why I said sidebar. But, I mean, someone like her, she needs to be in court so that they can just go ahead and... Honestly, I think she needs more help than that. I don't think she needs to go to jail. I think she needs a different type of help. But it would be a lot easier to regulate it in court. And it's more and more instances. Funny enough, like, she clearly is going through a mental crisis or something. But there's perfectly fine people who still just have zero control over their impulses. I've reviewed it before, where it's like, there's not even nothing wrong with you. You just don't know how, you just don't have any self-control. And you just feel like you can just act however you want in any scenario, any situation.
multiple instances where Ms. Godsey failed to control the dog, let the dog off the leash. It charged other residents, attacked at other residents. I'm going to show you what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 3. Are these true and correct still frames of the community surveillance involving an incident that occurred on October 2nd, where Ms. Godsey was unable to control her dog while another resident had their dog on a leash, and the dog was off the leash, and she essentially gave up on trying to control the dog?
Those are accurate still frames.
Okay. And so, Your Honor, plaintiff offers exhibit number 3 in evidence.
All right, let me ask you this question. All right, going back to those pictures. All right, Ms. Godsey is that who is in the red?
What?
That is Godsey.
Yeah, Your Honor, that's Ms. Godsey.
All right, in the red. Okay, all right. And the other one is a resident with walking their dog. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right.
And I have the actual video footage if the court would rather see that. Just because I had to file something with the court, it's a lot easier to file still frames.
I can see it. Yes. Okay. You may proceed.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Is that we are offering that into evidence?
Any objections to those pictures being admitted into evidence, Ms. Godsey?
I want to see the video.
They'll be admitted into evidence then. That's the plaintiff's exhibit number 2. Proceed, Mr.
Okay.
Fournier.
Thank you. As a result of this incident, Dylan, was a notice of lease violation issued to Ms. Godsey?
It was.
Okay. And is this a true and correct copy of that notice of lease violation delivered to Ms. Godsey on October 3rd?
It is.
Okay. Your Honor, plaintiff offers exhibit 3 in evidence.
Any objections, Ms. Godsey?
I'm sorry, 2.
That 2?
Yes.
That'll be admitted into evidence.
All right. Thank you. And moving on, just to clarify, did we have, or were there continuing issues with Ms. Godsey and the dog running around the property off the leash?
Yes, that recent incident on the 18th
of
January.
Okay. And I'm actually going to put up on the screen, not that one, the surveillance footage. Is this surveillance footage from January 18th?
Oh.
It hasn't loaded quite yet.
I'm so sorry. I had it up. There we go.
We'll skip through this.
January 18th, 2026.
It is.
And what is this showing?
A family trying to go exit the stairwell and being greeted by an aggressive dog.
And whose aggressive dog is that?
Miss Godsey's.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And so
4K.
Does Miss Godsey live where she's headed with that dog?
She is one apartment down on the right.
Okay.
She gonna chase after him?
All right. And so the family was terrified.
Oh wow.
And had to retreat because of the dog.
She intentionally did that.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So going back to October 18th, was animal control contacted and temporarily impounded the dog while it was off the leash?
Yes.
Okay. And was law enforcement also contacted that day to back up a CS or animal control?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And then October 19th, there was an incident where Miss Godsey failed to control the dog again and actually commanded the dog to get another resident. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And was law enforcement contacted, and was Miss Godsey ultimately arrested?
She was.
Okay. And with regard to the notice to vacate, I'm sharing plaintiff's exhibit number 6. Do you recognize this document? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not sharing it. Do you recognize this document?
I do.
And is this a true and correct copy of the original that you instructed our law firm to prepare?
It is.
And was this issued to the defendant by priority express mail, certified mail, and regular first class mail?
It was.
All right. And is the defendant still residing in the premises made the basis of this lawsuit?
She is.
Are you asking this court to award plaintiff a judgment for possession?
We are.
Are you asking this court to award plaintiff a judgment for its reasonable and necessary attorney's fees as well as cost of court?
We are.
Okay, great. Your Honor, I pass this witness. Oh, actually, I offer plaintiff's exhibit number 6 in evidence, but I pass the witness as well.
Any objections to plaintiff's exhibit number 6, Ms. Godsey? No? All All right, it'll be admitted into evidence. All right, and what are the attorney's fees?
Our firm began work on this file on October 27th, 2025. The total fees billed on our invoice through December 29th, 2025, and this is invoice 31511, were $5,037.50. After that invoice, we've had additional time. We attended the initial trial setting, which Ms. Godsey appeared at and said that she had a funeral to attend. So the court reset the case 2 weeks ago to today. So we've incurred an additional 14 hours of trial prep, re-notifying witnesses, and this is going back from December 29th, not from 2 weeks ago. So it's my total that plaintiff's reasonable and necessary attorney's fees through the time of trial today is $9,120.13.
All right, I think the defendant has left the.
Ain't that some ish? You never even got evicted for missing rent payments, but you still owe $10,000, just like these people who ain't been paying rent for all that time.
The hearing. Okay. And so it's a judgment of the court to plaintiff recover possession of the premises. In addition, attorney's fees in the amount and costs in the amount of $9,120.13 plus the court costs that execution issued. All right.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. May we all be excused and all my witnesses are excused.
You'll send me an order.
She absolutely brought that on herself. Now, if it came down to just her having mental problems, that she really needed to be somewhere where it's really not accessible anymore. They don't really have a lot of places for people having mental issues anymore like they used to. I don't know if the proper word is asylum, but just, that's probably got negative connotations because of Batman. But yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of mental facilities, especially free ones. The way that they used to. Is you just itch out of luck. You just kind of have to deal with it on your own if you don't have insurance to be able to get medicated or whatever the case. So I think that's what it really just comes down to. We'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, again, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second. And then also, if you could hype the video, that's a new feature on YouTube. It's not like, it's hype. And basically, by hyping the video, you help smaller content creators like myself. And YouTube pushes us to the same scale it pushes larger content creators the more you hype. So once you press the hype button, it'll show you my points. And then also Patreon's link below as well if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll see you all in the next video.